right, so welcome back to
Good
episode
song.
number 32 of MVP Rentals Podcast.
Yes. I'm jumping on a little late, so I apologize. Did I miss any good details?
Yes, lots.
What did I miss?
Well, we were just talking about how he kind of got started in his journey in real estate, and he was telling me that he all of a sudden one day decided he was going to house hack. So do you want to kind of tell Marcus a little bit about this house hacking adventure?
Yeah, sure. So the A to B is that I started with a house hack, and now I'm a rental operator of over 110 properties. But it all really started with that first house hack and trying to fill up the extra bedrooms to make some extra rent. I furnished them and put them on Airbnb, and from there I was just sold on the concept and started acquiring properties to do just that.
Awesome. In what market are you in?
Primarily in Philadelphia, and then a couple
Okay.
on the Jersey Shore, and now just breaking into the Poconos in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so East Coast, Northeast Coast.
Yes, so far.
But tell him where
Awesome.
you are now. This is awesome.
I'm in Hawaii right now on Oahu, trying to find some new places to add to the portfolio.
That's awesome. Do you listen to Bigger Pockets?
I do. Yeah, I spent
All right.
a lot of time on there. I'm just getting back into it.
Okay, so you got to keep an eye out for Brandon.
Yeah, he's on Maui.
Oh, he's on Maui? Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
I
that's
gotcha.
fine.
Yeah, I was
You
just
a
listening
Bigger
to
Pockets
them.
guy?
Oh yeah, I listen to them daily, like hours and hours if I'm in the car. So I'm sure if I'd be walking down the street and I heard Brandon or Josh's voice, it would be like, oh, that's the podcast guy.
Right.
I mean, those were the two guys that like got me into real estate. I was working outside sales and I was listening to their podcast over and over and over about like, you just got to jump in, you just got to jump in, you just got to do it. And then one day I was just like, all right, I've had enough, I'm going to do it. So I pretty much trusted them, even though they don't know it, with my whole career. So it's working.
That's really cool.
And I'm trusting
Yeah.
you, Marcus. So, you know.
I know. Big responsibilities. So before you house hacked, did you have any aspirations of making this a career? Did you want to like make this 100-unit business, or did you just want to do the one house?
So I didn't realize what I was getting myself into when I started. I thought it would take a lot longer. I thought it would be a much more conservative process, but it just seeing how well it was working and just keeping it going, it ended up moving a lot faster than I had expected. But the end game was
awesome.
always real estate. I was listening to Bigger Pockets pretty often too, and
Okay.
Get the door count up as much as I could.
Yeah. What was your first deal? What was it?
So
A duplex?
Single family house. Single family house. It was $375,000, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. But in Philadelphia, you don't have taxes on the property on new construction. So the taxes per year were only
Really?
$300, which made this like brand new flashy house really easy to rent out, and still make money above the mortgage rate since the taxes are so low.
Yeah.
Wow.
So is that indefinite, or how long does that last?
It's for 10 years.
So any new build in Philadelphia has no real estate taxes for 10 years.
Exactly. It's something that the city does to encourage developers to build and get the city growing.
So then if you pay
Really?
us off in 10 or 15 years, you're golden.
Exactly.
Wow. That's awesome.
Do you know when that started?
I want to say it's been 10 to 15 years that they've been doing it. It's been a decent amount of time. They're probably going to change it in the next couple years. They were supposed to when COVID hit, but then they delayed it.
Gotcha. Bring it back down to normal tax rate?
Well, rather, they were just going to make it a little less powerful. So right now it's full 10 years, and they were going to change it to prorate down. So kind of be like 100% the first year, 90% the second, and so forth until the 10th year is only 10% before it falls off.
Okay. So you're still kind of getting that push for development, but it's not completely one-sided. There's like a give and take gradual progression to it.
Exactly. So it's still there, just not as plentiful.
And does that just go in the residential side, or does that go into commercial? So if you built a new apartment building,
So
60
commercial too,
units.
that's where it gets really interesting. So even like a commercial building, let's say you build something that has 12 units in it, you could parcel off those condos and sell them out with the tax abatement on it.
Whoa. That I didn't want to invest long distance, but now Philly seems like it's a good thing because I mean if you can get in before they change it, why
Why
not?
not invest long distance, Marcus? I mean, you can't let me be the only one.
I know. Well, I just spoke to a broker today. I'm looking in Akron.
Oh,
Okay.
Ohio? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at
Yep.
there?
Airbnb.
Nice.
Short term. I
That's
know.
exciting. You didn't.
Long distance freaks me out, but I feel like I just have to try it.
Let's do it, Marcus. Both of us.
Yep. Yep. So, but again, I'm still learning all of those little nuances, which is crazy that they can be so drastically different. And this is something we talk about every episode. Real estate seems like it's just one big ball, but when you get into it, there's so many different nuances that you need to worry about. Like, I would be knowledgeable in real estate in Wisconsin, but when you take me to Akron, Ohio, I am starting over at square one. Like, teach me everything about Akron or Ohio in general, because you don't really know. I had no idea there's anything like Philadelphia had set up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something I constantly worry about, and why I've been trying to push into more different markets and play around is we kind of just fall into our backyard and look at houses in our backyard, but there might be a market out there that's so much better that most people are afraid to go venture into. So you got to keep
Yep,
yourself minded.
I know, and that's why I'm taking the first step into it to see what happens.
Akron, I bet, would be pretty lucrative.
I think so. Canton's close, Cleveland is close.
What drew you
Akron,
to what drew you to Akron?
LeBron James is from there. No, I have no idea. It was just something that popped in.
Just an opportunity or just
Yeah, yeah.
oh, okay.
No, I was looking through. I'm kind of looking for, because like I don't want to go into a huge metro market.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. For some reason, the risk on it is too high. Like you may be able to cash flow higher, but from what I've read and what I've listened to, even though cash flow is higher, your cost of time per dollar would be higher because you are, I don't know. I've heard of horror stories where people have to like tile up their walls because they get damaged, and it's not like I like to create more of like a homey feel for the tenant because one, I think they'll take care of it and they'll have some ownership in it or an ownership mentality.
Yeah.
And then I think they'll stay longer. So when you get into those metro markets, now it's not always, and this is not like a rule, but from what I've listened to and the people that I've talked to that invest in metro markets, they're rougher on the property. There's more turnover. There's less, or there's more missed payments. So like, I just don't want to go out into like a metro area.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a market that's still within driving or Uber distance to a metro market that still gets traffic, so like kind of like a tertiary market off of it. So for us in Wisconsin, I would think like, okay, Madison is your metro,
and
but
then
like the Dells is like 35 minutes from there. So like,
would you
if
do
I
like
was
Wauwatosa versus Milwaukee even?
right.
Sorry.
No. So like that's kind of what I was looking for. And Akron was one of those communities that was like right outside of two bigger markets, and still get some travel. So Akron is the first one. And then I'm going to be kind of, if this goes well, just trying to find more of those that can go through.
So what are the specs on this deal?
What's that?
What are the specs on this deal?
This is just starting. Like I just started talking to brokers saying like, hey, I'm an investor. I'm trying to go into Akron. Give me some details and what do you have? So I haven't even been able to analyze anything. This is my testing phase. This is like, do the numbers work? Like, is there something there that I can go? So yeah, it's a test run right now.
Oh
So
boy.
what is it they'd put in front of you that you would jump on? Like, what are you looking for from them?
I would be looking for like a 2 to 3 bedroom. I want to stay above 1,500 square feet. I don't think it needs to be a single family. Like I would still do a duplex or a triplex. And then I want to find out the Airbnbs in the area. What do they rent for? So I've kind of tasked them on, can you gather information for me
Sure.
on that one? So I'm not really too particular on whether it's a condo or a single family or a duplex. I want to know, is it in the area that I like, where it's going to draw more of a touristy, because I want to try the Airbnb realm.
Oh boy.
Sure.
I think my fallback is the long-term rental, which if you can call it a fallback, it's a fallback, but it's a different strategy.
For sure. Are you nervous with the Airbnb rental for all the fees associated with it, or?
Not really, because it's a matter if the numbers work or not. So with all the fees, if the numbers don't work, then I just pass on it, and maybe I need to go into a metro. Maybe there's no market for those in-between communities. So yeah, I'm very interested in walk score and then commute to the next nearest
I
metro
love
area.
walk score. Walk score is my favorite thing ever. Love it.
So those are my two main concerns.
And I think it's often overlooked, but that's where like short term gets really interesting, is that a lot of people who are coming into town don't know neighborhoods all that well. So as long as you don't put them in a war zone, your BNC
Right.
neighborhoods are super important, so long as the walk score is good and there's maybe, if not walk score, good transit to where there is somewhere easier to walk.
Right.
So it basically shakes up the market, whereas most long-term investors are looking at all these really fancy neighborhoods. You can get away with a B or lower B neighborhood and still win.
Yeah. I love the B and C class. That's like where I love to stay. Luxury seems more risky than investing out of state.
Sure. Do you
Just
have a lot
because
of things out of state right now? Have you done that?
I don't have anything out of state. I'm all within the same county at this point.
Okay.
I've been saying super, super close because once I can't, and I think that was something that I was trying to get over when I got into investing, was not being able to actually step foot on my property the day that I wanted to step foot on it.
Right.
It seemed risky. So it's just been more of a mental hurdle to get over, where okay, I can have a property manager who is going to take any concern that's going to happen. Yeah, excited for the opportunity.
What's your general thought on property managers? Do you use them?
I actually manage all my own. I've got my own property management company that I just work with all my systems that I've set up, so I don't really have to do much. The system that I use has been great. I mean, if I decide to go out of town for the weekend or for the week, I can literally toggle the setting on. I think it costs me $10 a week or $15 a week. And if I am gone and a toilet breaks or a sink breaks, they automatically get the ticket and send out a call to the contractors that I've listed and
That's
get
great.
the ticket.
But what did you use to set that up? What kind of systems are you working with and platforms?
So that is Hemline, Hemlane.
Okay.
That does all of my syndications into listings. So if apartment comes available, I just hit a button. It goes out to like apartments.com, rent.com. And I can communicate through the CRM to those platforms.
Oh, nice.
It collects rent. It houses all like rent roll P&L statements for the owners of other buildings. So I can send those out. It pretty much does everything I need except for the acquisition sales kind of thing. So if I'm looking for new property, I can't go through the CRM to look for other availabilities. And that's where I branch out to brokers that I have relationships with, where hey, right now I'm looking for a 50 to 100 unit apartment complex in Waukesha County. So I've been calling brokers in the commercial space saying, hey, what do you have? And they work with like, do you guys have CoStar
We
out
don't.
there? Okay, so that's like the commercial MLS.
Okay, we have something similar.
Yeah, so I use them to kind of use, I mean, they can go in and check cap rates and all the ownership information and financials on that website. But other than that, I mean, a lot of it is held within Hemline. And then obviously accounting is through QuickBooks. So
Sure. I mean, it
what
sounds like
kind
you
of
did a really good
systems?
job of getting everything set up to handle
What
it
is that?
itself. It sounds like you did a good job of getting everything set up to handle it itself.
Thank you. It was not as easy as it seems, but
No, it takes a lot of plugging away in one thing at a time.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
same thing for me. Getting the accountant set up to handle the monthly statements and the revenue reports, as well as just
yeah,
having the maintenance and cleaning, scheduling, like having everything a lot more automated. It's
yep,
it's tough to get the short-term business to be like 100% automated and fully be able to
right,
step away. But I'd say you can get it close to 95%.
yeah. So what systems do you have right now?
So there's like a property management software that I use that allows like everything to tie together, so you can be listed on multiple platforms, which is nice. So that way you're on Airbnb, VRBO. We have our own website. We pull bookings through, and then all the communication is just through that CRM. And then there's a couple other applications you can plug that will tie into that for both pricing, scheduling cleaners, and then I have basically a bunch of different departments that handle different things, whether it's maintenance or communications, even claims. Airbnb, I think the claims are one of the most underrated part. Um, Not that you have claims all that often, but it's important to be able to handle those. They're a good chunk of revenue.
Right. That is in. What was the name of that one? I don't know if you mentioned it or not. Sorry.
For claims, I have my own team of people who are dedicated to that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you do.
I hired some people who were working on Airbnb's claims team on the other side. So
Oh,
it's
really?
kind of got them to switch to the good side from the dark side.
Definitely. That's cool. So you do both long-term rentals and short-term at this point.
I have a couple that are long term, but almost everything is short term. I'd say it's about 97% short term. I prefer it,
Really?
honestly.
Okay. And then
I
you get to
couldn't
do
do it. Couldn't do
you
it.
get to do recon on all your short term. So where do you like how often you travel to all these different doors that you have?
So I have personnel who go into each house regularly and check not only like clean. Obviously, cleaners are going through pretty frequently, and that's a nice thing when you have cleaners who are going through and understand the claims process. It's almost safer than long term, in my opinion, because you have eyes on the property every couple of days. Whereas long
Yeah,
term, if you get it in there for a couple of years, you have no clue what it's going to look like. You might
I
walk into
know.
quite the surprise. Do you have any good horror
I know.
stories?
I don't, but I've been trying to get ahead of that. So in all of my leases, we have a semi-annual inspection because one, I allow animals.
Sure.
I think I truly think that people that have animals are probably more likely to be more of a responsible, regimented person. So that's why I allow them. It's not obviously a law or like a guarantee, but I like it. Um,
And
but
you
that
have the
also
two
allows
cutest puppies ever, so you have to.
true. So I allow pets. One that comes with either, depending on the animal, a semi-annual or quarterly inspection of the property. So it does allow me to get eyes on it. But one other thing that I've been trying to do, but this is now like a legal thing that I've been trying to work through in terms of if it can be done. I'm trying to offer services to my tenants where I've got the relationship set up with a cleaner that either I can take half of the cost
Mm-hmm.
or have them enroll in this service, but I can't mandate that it be cleaned every 30 days. So
What another real estate agent suggested to me was offering to pay for the cleaning service and have them come in like once a month, and then same thing with like the lawn service, just be like, come in every 2 weeks, mow the lawn, do the stuff, and then you don't have to worry about your tenant maintaining it or like getting in trouble with whatever if there's an HOA or just having the place look crummy.
Right. So that's the stuff that I'm working through with attorneys right now to find out how we can work that into the lease, because that was one thing that scared me on the long term is, yes, I can go step foot on the driveway, but like I can't go in unless they give me the okay to go in and there's proper timelines. So it's all regimented. So whether it's in Akron or Austin or Oconomowoc, I still can't go in whenever I want. So I'm trying to figure out, all right, I don't want to invade privacy, obviously, but how can we incentivize them to upkeep the property? And if it costs me $50 a quarter per unit and they take the other half, like that's well worth it to get eyes on and have it cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just ideas. I'm trying to get ahead of that, which on the short term realm, you don't really have those issues because they're coming in to turn it over anyways.
Right.
Do you go through, like you have a new property, do you reach out to the cleaning company and say, hey, this is how I want the unit cleaned and walk them through it? Or do you kind of like, hey, here's the property, send me pictures? How does that work?
That goes through in one of the applications we use, and there's a checklist of everything that needs to be done. And there's pictures that go with the checklist. So you can custom make different checklists for different properties. And that's how I tend to run it, because we have some places they have hot tubs on the rooftop that'll need to be addressed. And then there are other places that are very simple, 1-2 bedroom apartments that'll be kind of more in and out type deal. So there's a bunch of little things that you want to adjust for, and you just have to make sure that the cleaners are using the application and getting the pictures in. And then that way you can always look back at anything you would need to.
Yeah, the pictures are huge. And that's the thing that I'm trying to figure out how to do on the long-term rental side. Because I don't know if you've experienced it out there, but getting cleaners to come in and like be consistent and go the extra mile has been very hard, at least here in Wisconsin.
It's not easy. It's not easy, and it's frustrating because even if you pay for like a higher quality cleaning service, that doesn't always mean they're more competent. That just means they're higher.
Right.
A lot of the time, which is scary because that means they're just better at business, and that doesn't necessarily mean they're better at like actually doing the operation that they're getting paid to do.
Right. Right. Do you work with your cleaners on multiple locations if you can? Or, I mean, I'm guessing your area is so widespread, you work with multiple different cleaners and.
Yeah, we have 6 different cleaning teams right now, and we're always looking to source more. And it's kind of difficult because you want to make sure that your cleaners know that like you're trying to grow with them. And as you grow and get more places, you'll give them more contracts. So try to grow out your team. But at the same time, you have to do your due diligence and make sure that the quality is there, and always be looking for better and better cleaners, and just keep it moving.
Right. Yeah, that's a animal that I'm excited to find out, but I know it's going to be a frustrating one. Did you go through a numerous amounts of cleaners to find the one that you wanted, or?
So many. On average, you probably have to go through 6 or 7 to find one that's worthwhile to work with.
Yikes.
That's exciting.
It's something.
Yeah, right. And do you get them? I mean, are they putting up pictures with like confirmation that, all right, table was set the way that you want it to, bathroom was done the way that you want it to? Are you getting that, or is that kind of hit or miss?
No, you do get that. I mean, you get that with the people that we have. Now, the other 6 out of 7 that we don't take, you don't get that at all. That's all part of it.
Right.
And that gets uploaded to your CRM?
Exactly.
Okay. Because that would be nice, obviously, for non-owned buildings where you're just doing the management side, to be able to send those to the owner. Do you do any of that, or are all of yours owned? I guess I missed that
Yeah,
question.
so I have 9 myself. I have one partner in this business who has 6, and the other, uh, all the rest are managed for other people.
Okay, awesome. So to manage Airbnbs, do you need a brokerage license?
You don't, and that's like a big thing. It has been a big battle, at least in Pennsylvania, and I believe it went to the Supreme Court. And it was ruled that you don't have to. Luckily, so my partner's an attorney and has his license. Should we
That's
ever need it.
nice.
Yeah,
And I've also been a real estate agent for almost 3 years now, so I'll be able to get my broker's license if we need it as well.
Congratulations.
if it does come to that,
If
I
there were
guess.
regulational shifts that you need to be a broker, we'll be ready for that.
Awesome.
Good. The other big like fear of mine getting into the Airbnb space was more and more municipalities turning it down and not allowing it because it's such a, in their mind, like the wild, wild west of renting. And it's just going to bring chaos to the city because people are going to come in. And so I don't know what the rationale is, but like in the town that I live in, we can't do any short term. I think the shortest term is like 4 months or 3 months. Otherwise, it needs to be a legal lease, either signed by the property owner or negotiated through a brokerage. Um, so it's been scary because uh, you've heard stories. I don't know if it's ever happened to you where like they'll rent out an apartment complex or rent out a condo that they own, and then like the board just all of a sudden was like, "Yep, we're done with this." And then people are getting stuck with these units that they can't rent out anymore because the bylaws won't allow them to. So I know it's relatively new in terms of real estate, but I feel like it's been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing it fluctuate where communities are starting to drop it, or are you seeing more ramping up to accept it?
It definitely is getting more dropped than accepted from what I've seen in markets, and a lot of that was just influenced by COVID, just the just adversity to travel, and then the bigger thing is during COVID when most people are not traveling, the only people who were tending to do the short-term rentals were going to be people who are looking to party or have something to do because now they can't go out the way that they
Yeah,
used to. So parties became like a big problem with in Airbnb throughout COVID, and it really damaged their reputation. And I think that hurt them a lot with regulations. That that being said, moving forward, I think they'll get a lot better with it, and cities will open up more. But we'll see.
yeah. So how did your whole operation go through COVID?
Great question. It was slow for a month or two. The way I like to put it is I had a couple months that were the equivalent of a long-term rental. So my worst case was still not too bad. But
Yeah,
overall, it kind of just knocked a lot of people out of the space. There are a lot of people. So all of our places are owned for, I would say 80 to 85% of them are owned. Very few we are handling someone else's arbitrage. And everyone that was doing arbitrage got knocked out of the market space because they couldn't afford to hold through those slower months, and they didn't have the cash reserves to hold. And then a lot more people who, even if they did own, were a little scared of what was going to happen with the market space and just switched to long-term rent to play it safe. Now, I would say about 60% of the available units on market went off. And at this point,
really.
since they were all in 12-month leases, maybe longer, uh, there's just a lot less units on the market than there were. But travel is
Yeah,
picking up again and set to pick up more than it ever has. Uh, so with that combination, it should be almost a field day for the next couple of years until that balances
right,
back.
right. Like lower competition and more travel.
Yeah, I don't think
So,
people have ever been itching more to go places.
right. So, I mean, that's awesome that, I mean, you were able to obviously withstand it and now come out a little bit stronger because there's less competition out there with people not offering their spaces. And I was actually going to ask like how you navigated those vacancies because that's the part that scares me on the short term. The guaranteed long-term rental, like I know with a
Well,
certain amount of certainty, January is going to be paid because I
mhm.
have a tenant there. But if I rent this out in out of 30 days, I get it rented for 4 days.
That's
You
a great
start getting a
point.
little nervous.
It's all market elasticity, right? So if you're one of the better listings and you're doing everything the right way, it's not that occupancy goes for you personally from, let's say, 75% to 30%. It goes for the market from 75 to 30. So
Okay.
if let's say it's you and 9 other people who have listings on the market, and before there were 8 people coming to town, 8 groups to stay. Now there's only 2. As long as you drop your price enough to stay competitive with them, if you were already one of the better players in the space, you're going to get one of those 2 reservations. So you're fine. It's just really, it just creates that scarcity for everyone else. And you can always play with your prices. And that's what's really cool about the short-term market is you can always play with the prices and change up your strategy to hit whatever you need across the portfolio.
Yeah, that is true. And do you use a system to analyze or find out, all right, this weekend I should charge X, or this amount of time before the date, where you can kind of price it up as it gets closer? Like, how do you gauge
So
all
I
that
use
stuff?
a pricing algorithm software that handles everything from start to finish and uses the market demand. It uses live data and sees how many people are searching. Based on that, it'll adjust prices up and down. It'll use how occupied you currently are to adjust prices up and down. I set a lot of rules myself based on day of the week, based on like holidays that are in my area for each calendar year. So there's a lot of different factors that go into the pricing. And that's where I think a lot of people who are new to the space mess up, is they just set like one nightly rate or they like poke around at it. You have to have it kind of move with the demand, or you're leaving so much money on the table or not getting occupied.
That's a lot to think about. That's crazy. I never even really put those pieces of the puzzle together. Wow.
Pricing's a whole monster in itself.
I don't even want to get into that. That scares me.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that I'm going to start researching on.
Well, maybe on our next show that we can have you on and you can talk to us about pricing.
Yeah, I'm sure we could do a whole episode on pricing.
You definitely could. It's something that I think constantly needs work. Not anyone knows exactly how to do it, and if you can just take bits and pieces from the way everyone does it, you could find a good strategy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now, like, obviously pricing is one thing that brings people in, but you alluded to making your unit the best marketed unit or a most appealing unit. Do you do something specifically for all of your units that kind of sets it apart?
Yeah, there's a couple of things that really help with the search. I mean, you have to get a professional photographer for everything that you do. I encourage all of our clients to make sure their furniture is higher end and doesn't look cheap, because that says something about your listing and how you're going to react to different situations. And then the last thing is your communications need to be really quick. If your average response time isn't under 5 minutes, someone else is going to take that reservation when they ask about it. We're such a society now that we just want that instant gratification.
On demand, yeah.
We don't want to. We just want to click and book.
And I feel you with the professional pictures. I think Marcus and I have had one photographer on, maybe 2, but pictures are the new way of advertising. Like, that's how people gather their information now, and like visually it needs to be appealing, otherwise they'll go to the next Joe Schmo on the list.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It definitely overlaps with regular real estate. It's all about the pictures.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And making it look pretty, remember? Like, we just talked about this.
Right.
What we were talking about earlier, I said Natasha would like it because it's a big aspect, is to really just get up.
Yeah. So you'll have fun with this one, Natasha.
Yeah. Oh God. No. Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like the 3 main points for you, and I might be wrong, but it'd be pricing it correctly, appeal or appearance of the place, and then you also mentioned service, like respond within 5 minutes, be a responsive property owner or renter. And if you hit those 3 pillars, at least you're setting yourself up for success.
Exactly. You put yourself in a much better position to win.
Okay.
This
is like my pep talk to get into it.
I hate
So I
to be the
appreciate it.
bearer of bad news, y'all, but guess what time it is?
It's time to ask
wrapping up.
one more question.
Okay, what has been
Nope, two more. Nope,
Oh,
two more,
okay.
because I have one more because I'm
And-
super curious about this.
Okay, then you first, Marcus. I'm last, always.
Oh, Natasha, don't make me feel bad. I show up late. I should ask the first question, right?
Go.
Okay. I was reading something where this person was creating Airbnb business, and all of his units were themed to either the city or
Yes,
something historical that happened in that city. And I think there was one like they decorated to be like Hogwarts or something like that.
that's so cool.
Is that like a gimmicky thing, or is that something that actually holds weight within the short term? Like, do people go after like the Lego house or the Mario house?
I think
It
there's
seems
value to that. I wouldn't say that's like a mythical thing. I think there's definitely
okay.
a big value to it, and getting creative is super important. And I was telling Natasha this earlier. It's all about doing something unique
Yep.
and showing the creative side, and something like that is exactly what you want to do. And it may be a little gimmicky, sure, but at the end of the day, people like gimmicky better than feeling like they're in just another hotel room.
Better than like some
is true.
blase, yeah, like not hotel, but just you don't want to go to your grandma's house. You want to go somewhere special.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then there's
All
a
right,
whole
now the
world
last.
to be explored from there too. Like I want to do that in Philadelphia. All the sports stadiums and concert venues are in one small space,
Oh,
all tied in together.
that could be really cool.
Yeah, I went there. I went there once. Like Philly and the Flyers are like right across the street, and then down the street a little bit is the
football stadiums right there.
Yeah, I think Eagles play right on the like down the block a little bit.
Yep, and they just built a casino next to there, and all of the concerts happen at those stadiums. So it's really interesting that it's in such a small space. And there
Well,
was
then, do you guys know where else you need to go? You guys need to go to Baltimore to do your Airbnbs out there because they have Raven Stadium, Baltimore, the Orioles, they have the Inner Harbor, and they have all the fun stuff on there.
Baltimore is a decently hot market for Airbnb.
That's where I used to live. I love it out there.
Go there.
Yeah.
Okay, so my final question is, what has been your favorite project that you have done or accomplished? It could be either Airbnb or your own personal house, or like just like a fun DIY project.
So I recently put together a space that is just a regular like 3-bed, 2-bath condo. It has a roof deck. But I painted the wall up to have it be like abstract art across the entire main wall in the living room. And I put a lot of money into the furniture to make it more of an experience as opposed to just a regular condo. The roof deck for that 3-bedroom condo can fit easily 20 people on it.
Wow.
And I furniture sets up there. So to watch it go from the original real estate listing to the Airbnb listing after we furnished it was really exciting and really nerve-wracking when it didn't get any reservations the first day. But after that, the next 6 weeks filled up for about 2.5 times what the long-term rent would have been. So that was
awesome. Will you send us the listing so we can put it up with our show notes?
Yeah, I could do that.
Awesome. That would be so cool. And I just want to see it myself. So there's that too.
Yeah, I'd be happy to share that with you guys.
Awesome.
That'd be awesome.
And do you have contact information that our viewers, if they're looking for like short-term rentals, that they can contact you with?
Yeah, I can send everything over.
Awesome.
I'll email you.
Awesome.
That'd be great.
Thank you so much for sacrificing your Friday. I guess it's afternoon there, right? Because you're in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. So I still got the day ahead of me. Thank you guys for having me on. It was a lot of fun to chat with you. And I appreciate the opportunity to be on.
I know we will have you back to finish this conversation, and Marcus will be on time.
I will. I apologize. I hate being late, and this was something I was trying to get out and get on time for, and I apologize. But yes, next show I'll be on time. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm anticipating your thing to keep growing, and then I'm going to come back and be jealous because you've got all these things going and I'm like dipping my toe in Airbnb.
Or we can grow together.
There you go.
That's fine. I just want one unit. By the next time I have you on the show, my goal is to have that unit
Yes.
at least going.
Awesome.
I don't know if
You
that's
can
too
have your
lofty of a goal,
short-term.
but that's it.
You'll have your
I'll hold
short-term
you to it.
rental. I'll have my long-term rental, and then everybody will be happy.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
perfect.
Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the possible 5 minutes of rain that you're going to get in Hawaii before
Right.
sun comes back out.
Right.
So jealous.
I know. But yeah, until we talk again, I wish you the best of luck and keep going. I appreciate all the knowledge. Thank you.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you, Marcus. Nice to talk with you, Natasha.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yep, sure.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Bye.